And now, time to get in the huddle with your host, Charles Prodigy Richey, here on the Demonze Spruiel podcast.
Hey, you blink, I'll cut your eyelids off. Don't you blink. I got you. Let's go.
You get where you feel like you can rush the quarterback. You understand? Yeah. Rush the quarterback. Bangs in for the touchdown, and there's the coup de grace.
Do you have room in the trophy for another one there? You got 6 of them. Now you're the winningest franchise in NFL history.
We'll make room.
All right, guys. Well, hey, this is the very last one. Speaking of stuff being on the line, the very topic I want to get into with you guys right now. For those of you who join us here on the Demonze Spruiel podcast, we're being joined by the Demonze Davis show. We always talk about in sports, like if you ever had like a dream matchup with like teams or athletes going one-on-one. Well, since we're in the broadcast field and doing our shows, I have a fun one I want to entertain with you guys. And whoever wants to go first, fine. This is what I want to know. I want to know if you had a game on the line, who would be your announce crew? So I want to know who would be your play-by-play announcer, your color analyst or analyst. So would you have a 3-man booth or a 2-man booth? Who would be your sideline reporter? And who would be your pre- and post-game studio analyst? And what network will it be on?
I'll go first. I say basketball for me. I think the inside the basketball crew that we have right now, I guess I put Chuck. No, I'll take Shaquille O'Neal off. Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith.
Whoa, but that's the crew that's reporting. That's not.
No, you said that. No, I thought. Pre and post, not
pre and post game. Plus your announce booth and your silent report and what.
So wait. I'm sorry. No, wait. So Chuck, now because before we didn't say. We're saying that we're doing the inside the NBA and stuff. I thought we were just doing the announcing crew.
No. But I'm saying, though, your whole package, if you wanted to watch a game that meant so significant, what sport would it be? Who would be your play-by-play announcer, your color analyst, your silent report, and your studio analyst for your pre- and post game? If you want to be, like, as a fan, you're watching stuff, game online, significance, who would be the people you want to see covering your team? That's basically what I'm saying. So those
departments. See, my pre and post is that's why I said the inside the NBA. I mean, to me, they're pre and post to me. But I guess I put Shaq on there because I like Shaq and the Fool. So I guess that'll be my pre and post. My actual color commentator. I mean, my play-by-play guy. Who's the guy who used to wear the toupee like to bite the girls? Who was her name?
You're talking about Marv Albers?
Marv Albers. Marv Albers. Yeah. I go with Marv Albers.
So you're going
it's
NBA.
NBA. Yeah. Marv Albers for my play-by-play. My color, I'll go 2.
Okay.
I'll go 2. I used to love as a kid because he was bad, but he was also funny to me. Magic Johnson.
Okay.
He used to make me laugh because he was not that good of a color commentator. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, whoop, there it is. Like, what the hell is that? I would go him. And my other, I don't know. I got to have somebody that.
Doug Collins?
Nah. I don't know.
How about Reggie Miller?
Maybe. I was about to say Reggie Miller.
Okay.
I was actually about to say Reggie Miller. I like Reggie Miller.
And now who'll be your interviewer?
My interviewer? Oh, man, Amar Rashad.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that combination. Ryan, Ken, whichever you guys want to go first.
I can go, Ken, unless you want. Because I'm going to steal a lot of what Dee said because I'm just going with my favorites. My favorite all-time studio is Inside the NBA before Shaq. So I'm going to go with that.
That's mine, too.
Okay, before
I mean,
right.
They're the best. I mean, just the best.
Yeah.
Announcers, sticking with NBA. I'll go Mike Breen. I really like Mike Breen, but I would go Doug Collins and Steve Kerr as my 3-man booth.
Okay.
I love those guys. I'm blanking on the sideline guy. Who else?
Just passed away?
No. He's got the same name as like an NBA player. Everyone used to think that they were like cousins. Oh, I'm totally blanking. He was in The Last Dance. Sideline reporter. Usually with the Inside the NBA. Or with the NBA back or on TNT back in the day. I'm blanking on his name.
David Aldridge?
Yes, David Aldridge. That's what it is. Thank you.
Yep.
David Aldridge, and then I guess that's it. Because my post would be inside the NBA crew.
Yeah. Craig, you think I was thinking Craig Sager because
Craig Sager is
what
good.
I was
I'm going to bring back Craig Sager.
Craig Sager.
Fine, you get him. I'll stick with David Aldridge.
All right, so
I'll stick with the black man.
For NBA, it was Craig Sager as my sideline guy. Definitely, you got to look at Mr. Fake hair biting on a lady.
Marvy
Alberts.
Pervy Marvy.
Hey,
From 3.
It's his life.
A spectacular move.
I'm gonna go with Doug Collins.
Nice.
DC was the best.
Yeah, definitely. Doug
He was
Collins.
so good.
He was.
NBA is just the best when it comes to broadcasting.
And I'm a Hubie Brown. I'm gonna throw Hubie Brown in as emeritus. Right.
Hubie a few years ago, or Hubie now?
No, Hubie like 10 years, 15 years.
In his prime? Yeah.
15,
that's a good one.
Two man, and if it's not Doug Collins, then Steve Kerr. But I'm gonna throw Hubie. I'm gonna throw Hubie in there. But I'll throw Hubie in there. Now for the NFL, I'm gonna go with Al Michaels.
Yeah. I think I would go with Tony.
Tony who?
Romo.
I was gonna go with Tony.
Oh, okay.
But I was gonna go with the 3-man booth, and then it was gonna be John Madden.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
No, actually, that's not true.
What?
I was tempted to take Al Michaels off and go with Howard Cosell.
Nice.
So, actually, it may have been Howard Cosell, Tony Romo, and then John Madden to have the coaches type of angle. But if not, it was Al Michaels. But I was attempted to go with Tony Cosell with that when it came to the NFL. Howard Cosell, thank you. Howard Cosell when it came to it. I appreciate it.
D, you got a football booth? No, I only like basketball.
That's very true. No, I think I would go Al Michaels and John Madden was he was just such an integral part of me growing up watching football. So it's hard to. No. Jim Nance. Pat Summerall. I like Jim Nance. I like Jim Nance as a play-by-play guy. Yeah.
Honorable mention Iron Eagle, but I had to go Al Michaels. But honorable mention Iron Eagle.
Big time.
Yeah, my sideline reporter would be Pam Oliver.
Nice.
I always loved Pam.
I used to have a crush on Pam Oliver. She was nice.
Did her wrong for that idiot.
Yeah.
Who did they get? Oh,
they had so many. It goes back so many. So yeah.
No, they got Aaron Andrews. They demoted Pam Oliver.
Yeah, to the B team. Yeah, I know. All right, so Chuck, who's yours, man?
So I'm gonna go with NFL. I'm a big football guy, especially going into high school and growing up. That's my number one sport. So I'm gonna go. ABC's would be my network. What it used to be on Monday Night Football. So go ahead, give me Al Michaels for that. John Madden, and one guy who I like watching through history, Dan Dierdorf. So I'm gonna have a 3-man booth. Al Michaels, John Madden, Dan Dierdorf.
I like Dan Dierdorf too back in the days.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah.
And then side reporter. Used to have a crush on her, Pam Oliver. She was good looking. I liked her. So she'd be my interviewer. And then my studio analyst, I still like Chris Berman, but I'm going to go with James Brown. James Brown really been appreciative a lot. Bill Cowher has to be in there. Bill Cowher's really impressed me for 13 seasons as an analyst.
Stuff.
So hey, he's doing real good coming back to coaching. He's doing pretty phenomenal at that. So James Brown.
Look, Chuck, let me ask you this. Who's a better coach, Tomlin or Cowher?
Say that again?
Who's a better coach, Tomlin or Cowher?
Gonna make Chuck hair explode.
Yeah, Chuck, you better say that.
If you're going by the numbers, you have to go with Tomlin. But at the same time, too, Bill Cowher.
Why are we not gonna go by the numbers though?
Yeah. No. But I'm saying though,
when the brother get the numbers, it's like if you're going by the numbers.
It's a deadlock.
I'm just saying, like you're look, but look, just think about it in the real free agency because Cowher didn't deal with real free agency to what Tomlin had to deal with players who have money and Antonio Brown. Like, Cowher wouldn't know what to do with Antonio Brown. He would have cut him. And
Yeah, he would have been gone. He would have been gone.
Tomlin did with that for like 7 years. I'm just saying, like, Steelers, this is my only problem with Steelers fans. You cannot rate those two guys at the same level with what this dude had to deal with. And this dude was like a college coach. When I talk about Cowher was like a college coach as far as his amount of power. That's my only thing. So I just wanted to point that out.
So real quickly, I just want to finish up my studio analyst real quick, and I'll get to your point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with, once again, for the studio, James Brown, Bill Cowher, Michael Irvin, and Howie Long. That'd be my studio team for my pre- and post-game.
Ooh, you got a lot going on right there.
Dude, those guys are classics. I will tell you one thing about Bill Cowher. You know what makes him a good Hall of Fame coach, especially when it comes to Chicago? You know what that is?
He coached the Steelers.
Well, I'm going to give you one fact you guys may not know. Check this out. Bill Cowher is the only Steeler coach in history to win a game against the Bears in Chicago in Soldier Field. 1995. Mike Tomlin is 0-for-3 right now as a Steelers head coach against the Bears. Chuck Noll's teams did not have a winning record against the Bears teams. Granted, when they lost those Bears teams, his 70 steel curtain was already pretty much dismantled.
But Chuck,
Bill Cowher is the only one who has a winning record.
Does it really matter if they?
I'm just saying that's just one little highlight.
There's only 3 coaches.
In 95 at that.
Did you win a
3
title?
coaches in the history.
Did you win a title or didn't you? I don't care. Like, that's some old home team stuff. I don't care if you beat the Bears.
But you guys,
Did you win titles, and how did you play against Bill Belichick, who's the great? Like, all the other stuff.
But I'm just saying.
Like, it's just a bit. Like, that's like us sitting here telling me like Dicka. Let me tell you about Dicka. Dicka. Dude, I'm just saying. This is a dude in the modern day NFL still kicking ass.
But Bill Cowher does have a winning record against Belichick overall as a coach.
But that was one Cleveland Belichick that he got a lot of those wins over. Right?
I understand that, but those still count, though. I mean, he lost against some of his Patriots team.
No. Those Cleveland wins are BS. This was when he was in charge of a team. Like,
I understand that, but Bill Cowher's Steelers, they did not win a game in Cleveland for a long time until 94.
Who's better? Let me ask you this. Who's better, Cowher or Tomlin?
I thought you already said that.
You mean Cowher or Belichick?
I'm going to tell you right now. Aside from the numbers, I'm going to tell you the truth. Aside from the numbers and consistency, I'll probably still give the edge to Cowher, only because hold on, Tomlin is good with the numbers.
I didn't say nothing.
But I will say this. Cowher was wise enough to wise up when you needed to start rebuilding, reshuffling a deck. Around 1998, they missed the playoffs for 3 straight years, slowly started recycling guys out of Chuck Noll's team. When it came to guys like Greg Lloyd, Rob Woodson, you even had Levon Kirkland. I believe he was still part of –
problem. But let me ask you this.
I get that, but Bill Cowher had to reshape it into his own image.
You
got guys like
GM. When you're saying that, you're talking about the GM doing that. So now when we're talking – well, let me finish. I don't necessarily know the amount of control that Cowher had over the roster. Let me lead with that. But Cowher, one, was dealing with an old NFL, where there wasn't as much upheaval on the roster when it came to free agency. Like, he didn't have to deal with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon, and like, I'm just even saying, like, if you even look at the old NFL and what Tomlin has had to deal with, and the Steeler fans, and as a whole, because he hasn't beaten Belichick, that I feel like Steeler fans don't appreciate that you guys have been very good, and that's not common in the NFL. And Cowher didn't do that. Like, let me ask you this. How many losing seasons, and I mean below 500, does Cowher have compared to Tomlin?
Losing seasons,
and that was in the easier NFL and NFC North or NFC Central at that time. AFC is what I meant to say.
He had three losing seasons when his time with the Steelers. 1998, the first year, when they lost that bogus game to the Lions in overtime, where Jerome Bettis. They finally called head tails.
How many is Tomlin had?
0. I'll give him that.
So all right. So wait, in the NFL with free agency and all the problems you've had, you're rating a guy that quit, and even though some teams wanted him, didn't come back, better than a guy who's dealt with all the inflections in this team. With remind you love Cowher, and Cowher and Ben Roethlisberger don't even really get along.
Well, here, I'm gonna give you
another dealt with Ben Roethlisberger.
But here's the thing you gotta remember about Bill Cowher. When he stepped down, true story, a lot of it was due to his wife, Kay Cowher, who he lost 10 years ago next by the end of next July.
So wait. You really think it was – I'm just saying, as a grown-ass man, you're saying that 10 years ago is why – and I'm not dissing that, but I'm still saying – that really, like, because we all have jobs. Like, my brother just died 2.5 weeks ago.
My condolences.
We all have jobs. We all have. I'm not dissing you for saying that.
I know, but I don't like Ken.
But this is the point. The only point that I'm trying to make is the what we're saying for one person without another.
No, but I got
Pittsburgh, and I'm just saying as a Pittsburgh fan because you like this guy.
No, but I got.
But realize, because let's wait. I got a lot of Cleveland fans that love Pittsburgh, and it's funny how they diss Tomlin, and you guys don't appreciate this guy that his worst seasons are 8. It's not you, but his worst seasons are 8-8, and Bill Cowher, who Bill Cowher really thought he can do what he needed to do with Cordell Stewart. I wouldn't have said that, and I love Cordell Stewart. Right? Just really, when you're thinking about it, I'm just saying when you're really looking at having these, because the thing is, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. When he leaves y'all going to be in a bad place, and y'all going to really start realizing, damn, we didn't appreciate him because Cowher isn't as good as Tomlin, because Cowher didn't have to deal with what was going on in this NFL. On top of that, and he's outperformed what Cowher did when I'm talking about Tomlin. And when Pittsburgh fans say that, it really exemplifies some of the ignorance with Pittsburgh fans, because this dude has kept y'all at a level you don't deserve it. It's not natural. That's the thing I'm trying to tell you. It's not natural. You're better than Dallas, and they have more money. And it's not natural for them and they BS, but you've been at this level and y'all don't even see. Y'all think y'all supposed to be special.
I know.
You're not supposed to be special.
Wait till you go through the NFL wilderness, Chuck, for decades.
Hey, let me tell you guys something real quick. Hold on. I gotta say this real quick. And the answer about Bill Cowher, here's the biggest reason why. The Steelers, before Chuck Noll or Bill Cowher or even Mike Tomlin came in, they had losing seasons for over 4 decades. They started off as the Pirates in 1933, became the Steelers in 1940.
No. Let's talk about Chuck. Let's talk about Chuck Noll. Let's just talk about Chuck Noll. All right. Let's not go until before Chuck Noll. Let's go into Chuck Noll, Cowher, Tomlin. We don't have to go into
you got to count Super Bowl era.
We don't have to go into Joyce.
We ain't counting our NFL championships before the Super Bowl.
I will say this.
Wait a minute. How about this? We do a part 2 with you all arguing about Pittsburgh football, because I'm about to
but hold on. Bill Cowher, this is why I give him a little bit of advantage of the edge from Chuck Noll going to Bill Cowher. This is the reason why. Chuck Noll was starting to run out of gas. He was getting older. The life as a Steelers organization, once they had that winning success, because remember, there were 86 games under 500 before Chuck Noll came as a pitcher. He got 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. Then his last run, when they started missing out on the playoffs again, he made the playoffs 4 times. But he felt like the attitude around the Steelers organization was starting to take a dip.
Right.
Bill Cowher, who was homegrown in Pittsburgh, he came in there, and the reason why he got that job, he brought in a attitude to that team.
And what did
Cowher knew how to adjust. That's all I'm saying.
But the thing
and
is,
also, hold on. And also, another legendary head coach, too, when you look at it, too, in the history of this game with Paul Brown, him and Paul Brown are the only coaches to make the playoffs in their first 6 seasons. Starting off as a coach.
has nothing to do with the argument that we're making. The argument that we're making is who's been a better coach.
I'm still giving the edge to Coward slightly.
But Coward, little boy, who's kept their, like you just said, Coward had 3 losing seasons, right? Yeah. And this is the thing. He had 3 losing seasons in the AFC Central or North that wasn't as competitive as what Tomlin has had to do with, especially with dealing with Belichick. Like, Coward didn't have to deal with Belichick like that for the duration of his. This is the thing with y'all, and this is why y'all be on BS with y'all Steelers fans. If Tomlin didn't have to deal with Belichick, y'all would have to build a statue that y'all should have to build already. Coward didn't have to deal with anybody like that. And nobody in football can beat Belichick consistently. And that's the problem with Steeler fans being arrogant. You stop. You don't deserve it. Get over it. You're lucky to have what you have.
All right.
I'm done. That's my point. You
all right,
kill it.
Chuck, and you can have Ken back on. Y'all can keep talking about.
I'm not coming back.
Yeah, y'all can keep talking about who's better between Cowler and Tom.
It's just when we're looking at what we're going through right now. Because I mean, like, I know we didn't want to, and you touched on the racial statues and things like that. Yeah. But when you have a brother that sat there has to deal with going with what he has to deal with in the locker room, with the organization, and with everything, and you don't even appreciate the fact that he's had no losing seasons in this AFC. He's had not 3, no losing seasons, and that's the problem where the appreciation of, and I haven't had that as a Bears fan, and it's not nothing even to do with race, but it has to be talked about. That you've had this guy, and a guy, I like Coward. It's not even a diss him, but Coward wasn't malleable. Let me say this about y'all team. Let me finish. Tomlin came from being a 4-3 coach to dealing with having to deal with Lambeau and the 3-4 system. And I love Dick Lambeau. I love what he did on the other side of Night Train Lane. Like, Chuck, I know your history as a Steelers fan, right? And he didn't even have to implement his system as being basically a 4-3 guy, right? And it made me question him at times about that. But to still see how he handled a team and how malleable he was, especially with all that shit that Big Ben was going through earlier on. And Big Ben didn't like Coward, right? And then when we find out, when you look at Antonio Brown and all this, like y'all don't even appreciate the fact that he kept that locker room together, and y'all had a lot of messed up stuff going on, and they were still winning. And that's the crazy, like that's the part with Steeler fans, dude. Y'all locker room was crazy messed up, and Shorty kept that going. And then when y'all quarterback went 8-8, and it's still like, man, I think the dude that everything was going straight with was doing better. And that's my only part, and I'll leave it alone at that so we can go on and I can hang out with my family and D can do his dinner.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I will 45-minute rant about Pittsburgh Steelers coaches.
Yeah, we're on the Iron Steel podcast.
Man of Steel.
But I will just say this. With Mike Tomlin, and I like them both, but I only choose Cowher only because of the simple fact. Because I think people are more trying to be patient with seeing Mike Tomlin do it in his own image. He always gets the criticism, well, you won most with Cowher's team. Yeah, you add in guys like Lawrence Timmons, Ryan Clark, Lamar Woodley. But at the same time, people still look at that was the bulk of Cowher's team, and you had quarterback.
Cowher couldn't win it with his team.
I get that.
Like, think about what you're saying. So, wait. So you're saying now you're handicapping. You're handicapping someone.
We've had this.
Stop.
What, dude? We've been over here for like 3 hours, man. Come on.
You're handicapping someone.
I'm sorry, guys.
For winning with a team that couldn't win before he had that team. Like, it'd be different. Like, look at the difference in those two teams. Also, look at the difference in how the offense changed when you look at
the boss.
Yeah, Arians is being the guy at the offense. When you look at, I
the
forget
offensive
what's his name, the dude that was with the Cardinals that took over.
Bruce Arians.
No, after Bruce Arians, you had
Todd
the
Haley?
former Todd Haley. When you look at, like, it's like, dude, like, you wouldn't have got that with Cowher. Cowher would have never went to using that offense the way that your defense sucked. Cowher would have tried to keep using the defense and hampered the offense. And you're still saying that, well, because I like Cowher and it's what we had. I get that you like him, but know who was better is my only point. I'm not saying anything else.
But
I'm done. D, you can take
Howard
all
did find a way to win with Neil O'Donnell, Cordell Stewart.
Oh, no, O'Donnell didn't do shit.
And you just said you was done, and then you bringing it right back.
In the Super Bowl 30.
I'm done. He said Neil O'Donnell.
And we'll go.
Said Neil O'Donnell.
We'll go.
By the way, my phone might die.
And we'll go
O'Donnell.
part 2 of Ken and Chuck debating about Steelers head coaches. Chuck, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you guys so much for joining me here. And I just wanted to say, I thank you guys for staying out a little bit longer. I had no idea it was going to go like this, but seriously, it's been fun, guys. For real.
This is how much we love you, Chuck. This is how much we love you.
This is love.
Yeah.
Let you know we care.
Right here.
We care immensely about you.
I know.
All right.
Well, I'm just saying, those are the reasons why I give the edge to Tom. And listen, I saw him in training camp.
Chuck.
Chuck, we are not starting that back up.
No. Chuck, you in this show right now. You in this show, Chuck.
You ended like Cowher ended that career.
You just in this show, Chuck. Go ahead and close it out. Now, I will close it out.
I'm just letting you know why I'm giving the edge.
No
That's
way.
all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to go back to my guys there.
But just go ahead and end the show, Chuck.
But anyway, hey, for real, once again, this is the D and Davis crew right here. That is Kenneth Davis right here at the left, to Demonze Spruiel right there, and Ryan Bukowiecki. You follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at D and Davis Show right there. Have a lot of good sports content on the D and Davis Show. Check out their YouTube channel. And plus, if you want to talk some stuff or some sports, check out D and Davis The Flip. These are the pioneers right there in my mind. I'll echo in what Larry Hawley said to you recently. I saw that interview. You guys have definitely built an empire. It was a pleasure keeping in touch, you guys. I really appreciate this long-winded show. It really was great, man.
And real quick.
Thanks, Chuck.
First of all, respect our brother, Chuck. Like, we won't take much Chuck slander. As you see us and how we interact, how the guys got on me, this is how we interact. But he is definitely one of us. And Chuck, we appreciate it, and we wish you nothing but greatness as far as moving forward.
Seriously.
Thank you.
No, seriously, guys. I see how much you guys came, and you know what? You guys ain't afraid to adapt. Just find a way to move forward. That's what it's all about. Moving the chains, getting those first downs, and trying to punch you into the end zone, and just do something beyond. Like they always say, it's not just sports, it's a way of life, as Chicagoland Sports Radio would say. Gentlemen, I thank you very much. Have a happy and a great Friday. Hope we can do this again one day. I promise I'll keep this so much shorter. But seriously, this is a great time with you guys. I have a blast, guys.
It's fine, Chuck. It's fine, man. We always appreciate you, and you want our brothers. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah. Thanks, Chuck.
Love you guys. Have a good weekend, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Chuck.
You too, man.
All right. Bye-bye.